Hello everyone and welcome to another standard video. So today we're going to be looking at Gruul Modify, and that is thanks to this card called Quirion Beastcaller, and we also got Shivan Devastator, which is also a very nice addition to the deck as well. So without further ado, let's take a closer look at the deck to see how the deck looks like. So this is the deck we're going to be playing today. It's Gruul Modify in Standard. So the plan is with the deck is to beat down your opponent before Meathook Massacre comes down eventually, because literally everybody is playing black at the moment, so everybody will have Meathook Massacre in their deck. So why is it called Modify? Modified is a mechanic that came with Kamigawa. So we have two creatures that work off modified creatures, which are the Thundering Raiju and Kodama. So as you can see, the modified keyword plays off of creatures with counters. So we do want a lot of creatures that can come down onto the battlefield with counters. So that's going to be the two cards that we're actually going to be looking at today. The first card that we got to the Gruul Modify list is the Quirion Beastcaller. So remember when we had Luminarch Aspirin on curve, and every turn they get a +1/+1 counter, and it just snowballs out of control. So this card is a bit similar. Obviously, it's a lot worse because you don't put it every single turn. You do have to cast a spell every single turn to get a +1/+1 counter on itself, but there's a catch. When this creature dies, you can distribute the +1/+1 counters onto other creatures that you have. So this card becomes fatter, an opponent has to deal with it, and once that happens, you distribute a bunch of counters onto other creatures that you have, which is very nice for the deck because we do have a card called Kodama of the West Tree, which lets all the modified creatures you control have trample, and once a modified creature deals combat damage to a player, you can put a land from your deck onto the battlefield. And we also have Thundering Raiju as well, so having more modified creature becomes pretty handy. So this is a really nice addition to the Gruul Modify list. And the next card that we got is the Shivan Devastator. It's a 1 mana card with X cost attached to it, but initially it's a 0/0 creature with a flying haste. It enters the battlefield with X +1/+1 counters on it. So this is a really good mana sink, especially if you're flooding. Then this can come in as perhaps like a 5/5 or a 6/6, and that'll end the game pretty quickly. And also, if you happen to start with Kumano faces Kakusen as well, then you can also run this out as a 2/2, no problem on turn 2. 2 mana 2/2 flying haste. It's definitely not a bad card to play on turn 2. So those two are the two cards Gruul Modified deck have received that works off of counters. Other than that, we did also get Phoenix Chick and Squee, which are two new additions from Dominaria United, although they don't really support the Gruul Modified plan. However, Phoenix Chick is just a really nice card to have in the red aggro deck, and you can also give the Phoenix Chick counters from either Kumano starting on turn 1, and you also have Halana Elena, Thundering Raiju to give the counters to Phoenix Chick itself. And although you're not exactly putting counters, Reckless Stormseeker can also give a +1 attack to Phoenix Chick every single turn so that you can attack from the air for a little bit more damage every single turn. And lastly, the two copies of Squee in our deck is really just there to counter the Liliana metagame at the moment. And the card is just really good, whether or not Liliana minuses or pluses. If opponent does plus Liliana, you can just discard Squee. And if opponent does -2 on your creature, then you can play Squee to attack into Liliana. And aside from that, everything else is pretty much the same as the old Gruul Modified list. So that is it for the deck. And I'll have a wrap-up section at the end of the video to talk about the downfalls of the deck, the metagame at the moment, and possible replacement for some of the cards in the deck. And I'll be making some changes as well at the end of the video. And with that said, I'll be jumping into some standard best of 1 to see how the deck does. And let's hop on over. Okay, double Kumano is spicy. Another Kumano. Tenacious Underdog. Destroy. You know, actually, I didn't really need to do that, huh? I did not need to do it. Let's not pay 1 life. Okay, so far so good. Okay, so far not good. Okay, at least I do have this card, which is kinda nice in the spot. Okay. That was actually an accident. I did not want to attack with Kumano, but here we are. Ooh. If you would play a card that makes your opponent instantly surrender when you play it, you would play that card, right? It's not really a good hand. I don't like it too much. Something like that. Black, black, black. Every deck is black. Plaza of Harmony. Okay. Okay, they have a cut down. I think they have a cut down.
Happy to help, but one of your friends has to leave.
I do think they have a cut down. So I'm actually gonna run out Shivan Devastator. I mean, what are the chances of them having a Mihawk Massacre? You know, Plaza of Harmony is actually pretty cool because it does let you cast any legendary spell, and Mihawk Massacre is a legendary spell. Please don't have one. Of course you do. Of course, why not? Why not? How do they have like the perfect card? And they're also going first. Oh my god. Please, opponent. You're not supposed to have everything. That's just unfair. That's against the rules.
Fine. I'll take my zombies and leave.
Oh my god. Get me out of there. Get me out of that nightmare. Okay. Kumano. Phoenix check. Cut down. Feels bad. Infernal Grasp. Reckless Stormseeker. Attack. Land. We need a land next turn. Because of Mihawk Massacre. But they did it anyways, okay. Invoke Despair. Can I get a land, please? Okay. Come on. I'll land and we win. Okay, land and we win.
Nobody knows Dominaria's shadows. Sacrifices must be made.
Okay. Attack. Okay, one day we'll draw a land and we'll win. We just need one land. Let's go.
I'm tired of your secrets.
Land? Land. Land? Land? Today is just cursed. Today is just cursed.
The others can deal. Sorry, I'm not interested. Haven't you ever heard of personal space?
Okay. It's okay. We still just need one land. And we win. Let's go. Okay, maybe not. Oh my god, where are the lands? Where are the lands? Help me now. Come on, give me a land. Oh my god, finally. Although they have somehow escaped from the verge of death, every turn when we have lethal, our deck is just not working with us. It just keep giving them time. Take 6. And then 7 with this, right? So if they have a Sheoldred, we lose, so we have to block. Oh wow, we actually would have lost as well. Oh my god, we actually won this game. Well, actually, to be fair, we should have won this so long ago. Okay, so we are going first, and we do have the curve, Phoenix Chick, into the Beastcaller. Although, we don't really have creatures, which is unfortunate. No cut down from opponent. I'm gonna go... I mean, I could have gone Kumano first. Just to activate the Kami's Flare. Oh my god. Double Painland? Yeah, this is unfortunate. because the Beastcaller doesn't have a +1/+1 counter. And we also don't have like a creature spell to put a +1/+1 counter there. A creature? Okay. Not looking good here. Oh my god. Oh my god. Of course, when I ditch a land, that's when I draw Liliana. Love that. Love that. So, a land will win me the game. A land will win me the game. Harvester. I missed out on so much damage this game. Double Kami's Flare, which didn't do any damage to opponent. Wow. I don't know about that, Chief.
I'm not afraid of
Now a land truly does kill you.
job for you. Your punishment
Okay,
is
they're alive.
entertainment.
This game got a lot more difficult very, very fast. And they're gonna be able to gain all the life back. Fine. Fine.
No
wow.
one beats me and survives.
That's insane. That's insane they did that.
Go ahead. Plead.
That means if
for
I could have
mercy.
gotten lethal if they didn't block there, which is insane. I didn't think they wouldn't block. Huh? Like, what if I played Lightning Strike? You would have died there. That's insane. They're dead? So I actually have to sacrifice the creature, the Kumano here, because this is an enchantment. So if I sacrifice the Phoenix, it would ask me to sacrifice 2 things. So they have to have another removal spell on top of it, like that one, which is, of course they have it. I'm actually gonna kill this devil here. In case we draw Haster, which we didn't. Tough game. Oh my god, this game is tough, tough, tough. My goodness. Yeah, I just don't understand. Like, why is my opponent constantly trying to die? Like, if I held up that shock, I mean, I don't think it would have done that because they would have plus first,
You work
and
for
then
me
they would
now,
have
Runt.
invoked despair, right? So that they can gain 2 life before that happens. Okay. Just so late. It's just so late, man. I feel like if we had a modified creature somewhere down the line, we would have won this game very, very easily.
Defy me, and you'll lose everything.
Oh my god. Yep. That's unfortunate. But what can you do? Okay. This kind of works out. I might actually have to run down Shivan Devastator as a 2/2. After I Kumano. The Kumano into Shivan Devastator. That's a 2/2. That'll get Kami's a flare up. Oh, actually, now it changes everything. Now it changes everything. So Phoenix check, Kumano. That will make the Shivan Devastator into a 3/3, which means it doesn't get. So they'll have to block the Kumano, I believe, here. So this will be a 3/3, which doesn't get cut down. I could Kami Flare. Let me think here. The thing is, if I Shivan Devastator here, right? It becomes a 3/3, which dodges a -2/-2. You know what? I'll do this. I'll keep the Kumano here. But the problem now is that if opponent does have Mihawk Massacre, I'm kind of screwed. And I'm hoping opponent doesn't have a Mihawk Massacre. No, it wouldn't have mattered because they would have had, right? They would have had a Blood Tide Harvester. So they Blood Tide Harvester my Shivan Devastator, and they are just gonna Mihawk Massacre anyway. So what? So it didn't matter in the end. Okay, it worked out, but obviously Mihawk Massacre, what a broken card. Okay. This works out. So far, we haven't faced a single opponent that wasn't in black color. It's just black is so strong. Also, 3/3 by the way. Can't get cut down. Your go. Kodama. Kodama is actually pretty insane in this. Oh my god. No freaking way. I'm sad. I'm sad. I'm trying to do this so that I can fetch some lands onto the battlefield. It's a counter deck. Okay. Land. Okay. Double Beastcaller, perhaps? There you go. Finally. And there it is. Okay, that's unfortunate mulligan. That's a keep. It's so greedy though. Actually, is it? Yes, I will play this as a 2/2. A 2-mana 2/2 flyer, that's not bad. That's not bad. White? Oh, it's an enchantment deck. I do really wish to keep this cameo safekeeping up, but I don't think I have a choice. Oh no. I was afraid of that. Please have another one, please, I guess. Okay, they don't. Okay. Oh, that is an insane draw. That is an absolutely insane draw. Interesting. I could put it on Kumano and attack with the Beastcaller. Then the Beastcaller would give the counter to Halana. Like, that's not too bad, right? I think this is actually okay. I think that works out. Commune with spirits. Okay, they're digging. That is a good sign. Oh my god, how do they always find it? Okay. Every time we have this Tameo safekeeping, they play a bunch of creatures, and then every time we don't have Tamiyo's safekeeping up, they just play a bunch of removal spells. So it's just, I mean, it is what it is. Okay. So this deck definitely did not perform as I expected. So along the line, I did have to add 2 copies of Tamiyo Safekeeping just because there were so many removal spells in the format, such as Cut Down, Wandering Emperor, Infernal Grasp. There were just way too many removal spells, and I thought maybe we need some Tamiyo Safekeeping to protect Halana and Thundering Raiju perhaps, or even the Beastcaller, for instance, when this grows into a big creature. But yeah, I mean, it just didn't work out. So I do think just cutting Tamiyo Safekeeping is probably correct, and perhaps maybe 2 copies of Bloodthirsty Adversary, which is also a card that gets counter, and it does let you flashback play with fire, Kami's Flare, which is also really nice. I'm actually very surprised. I thought the aggro deck had decent chance against black decks, but it was actually not the case. It was very average. Maybe it was just today I was just a little bit unlucky. As I suspected, Cut Down is an incredibly strong card for standard. It's a 1-mana removal spell, making aggro decks very difficult to get going. So although like Reckless Stormseeker is a good card, it is a 2/3 creature that you have to spend 3 mana on, which does get just immediately killed by the Cut Down, which is pretty sad. So if you went second, for instance, opponent can go Cut Down, Infernal Grasp in the same turn, then all your aggression is just gone. So for that reason, maybe Reckless Stormseeker isn't it. Right now, the 3 mana slot isn't the greatest, I would say. There's Chandra, but in Gruul, you can't really play Chandra. And another option could be Fabled Mirrorbreaker. Another card that actually might be decent right now is Briar Bridge Tracker, which is a 4/3 when it comes down and it leaves a clue token. This is also a really nice card as well because it doesn't get cut down. The black just having just the best removal spells. And then Liliana comes down on turn 3. And they kill one of your creature, then you have to take a turn in killing back the Liliana. So it does really slow down your aggression a lot. And it wouldn't be so bad if a 1-mana removal spell didn't exist in the format. And on top of that, the black has the best board wipe that gains back life, which is Mihawk Massacre. And they have probably one of the better 4-drops out there that gains them life, which is the Sheoldred now. So when an opponent does have those spells ready to go every single turn, all of your creatures can get answered very efficiently. So for that reason, aggro decks they're not in a really great spot, I want to say. But thank you guys for watching, and if you guys enjoyed the video, leave a like, comment below, and subscribe if you haven't. That would be much appreciated. I'll be back to perhaps some explore in the next video to see how the metagame is like there. And I'll see you guys all later. Bye bye.